Chapter 6, 104, Luck Inspection. Translator, Chibi General Editor. Chibi General, half a month later. 88. True Yang Building. Yompt, the wind scythe birds were densely packed together. A great number of them engulfed the sky as they charged towards the Alliance army. These wind scythe birds had beaks as sharp as swords. Their wings were curved and razor-edged, like that of a scythe. They flew extremely fast, leaving behind after-images in the air, and had no fear when they charged towards their enemies. "Kill, kill, kill!" He Lu Lan shouted. The black smoke around his body was rolling, creating multiple black tentacles as they, one after another, captured the surrounding wind scythe birds and devoured them. The battle of the army fighting against the wind scythe birds had been ongoing for an hour, with both sides suffering heavy casualties. The floor was littered with bird corpses, but there were also many dead Gu masters. "Ah!" He Lu Lan screamed. He was going berserk from fighting, stretching out his right hand. His right arm was in a claw shape. As a dark spiral was formed, it rotated in the air and converged at the center of his right claw. In the blink of an eye, thousands of dark streams gathered like they were flowing into the sea, into He Lu Lan's right claw like a black light ball. The light ball was dark and mysterious. It spun on its own and gave out a thunder-like sound. "Go!" He Lu Lan's eyes suddenly opened wide as he shouted, using all his strength to point his claw at the sky. He grabbed the round ball of black light like he was lifting heavy weight. His movement was very slow and strenuous. Following this movement, the light ball slowly flew into the air. In the air, it rapidly expanded. In a few breaths' time, it expanded to the size of a mountain. At once, the black light ball occupied the sky, covering half the Alliance army's surface area. Countless wind scythe birds were engulfed by it, melting and corroding. Not even their bones were left intact. The entire process was silent and strangely overbearing. People's hearts were turning cold from seeing this. This was He Lu Lan's signature killer move. Dark Vortex. After lasting for 6 breaths' time, the vortex killed tens of thousands of wind scythe birds. The numbers of the wind scythe birds were too huge, and because they gathered above the Alliance army, they were a terrifying threat. After the dark vortex vanished, a huge clear hole appeared in the sky, but soon the wind scythe birds flooded in like a tide, covering up the hole again. Above the Alliance army, there were countless wind scythe birds again. This was the 25th round of the 68th floor of 88 True Yang Building. The numbers of wind scythe birds were too great. Among them were large numbers of bird kings. Their assault was too powerful. Actually, according to their experiences, they knew there had to be an easier way to challenge this round, but He Lu Lan directly charged in and mobilized all his strength to overwhelm the birds. This attracted the revenge and counterattack of the frenzied wind scythe birds. "Ha ha ha, kill all these damn birds!" At one side, Ye Lui Song laughed. He Lu Lan's explosive strength triggered his fighting spirit. Ye Lui tribe was on the same level as He tribe. They were both super forces, having Gu immortals backing them. Ye Lui Song and He Lu Lan had the same status. They were both the tribe leader of their respective super tribes. When he saw He Lu Lan's killer move that killed countless wind scythe birds, he was not willing to hold back anymore. "Look at my newly developed killer move, Flame Demon!" Ye Lui Sang shouted loudly as his sleeves fluttered, and his primeval essence rushed into the Gu worms in his hands. With a loud thud, his body was clad in flames. As the flames burst out, all Gu masters near him moved away. Within the radius of a few hundred steps, he was the only person left. His body trembled, and the flames that could rise to heaven split to form a 10-meter bronze ape that was completely made of flames. The flaming bronze ape had an ugly appearance, with teeth like a gorilla, strange horns and bulging muscles. This was the Flame Demon. The Flame Demon rose into the sky, crashing around as all the wind scythe birds that collided with it were ignited, screaming from being burned alive. Along its path, flames were burning, causing a straight line of them to form in the sky. Large numbers of wind scythe birds were roasted, falling to the ground. The flame demon rampaged arrogantly, attracting the attention of many birds. It greatly reduced the pressure of the Gu masters in the Grand Army. What fire demon? It is nothing much. Far away, Huan Lan laughed loudly, showing his smug arrogance. Ye Louis Sung laughed as well. Hey, tribe leader, take another look. In saying this, his body shook as the flames fell off him, forming another flame demon. Huan Lan's expression changed. Not just him, even Fang Yuan, who was in the army, took a serious look. The flame demon had great strength, but to think he had more than one. 88. Truyang Building gave lots of opportunities. It was not just Fang Yuan and Huan Lan who were improving. Other Gu masters were gaining many rewards as well. When 6 flame demons entered the battlefield, the flames on Ye Louis Song were finally extinguished. 6 flame demons, thankfully. Fang Yuan retracted his gaze. Huan Lan's expression soothed as well. Ye Louis Song had true capability. This killer move was really extraordinary, but that was as far as it got. In terms of power, it could only be on par with Dark Vortex. The flame demons rampaged for an hour as their strength fell more and more, eventually perishing among the wind-scythe birds. But soon after, Fang Yuan, Taibai Yun Sheng, Shi Shui, Pei Yan Fei, Tao Yu, Gu Guolong and others attacked, using all their killer moves. The great strength of rank 5 experts quickly changed the battlefield, tilting the scales of victory towards the Alliance army. Eventually, they succeeded, getting into the 26th round. Reporting to Lord Tribe Leader, 13 tribe leaders have submitted a letter of request. They are asking for a temporary halt of advancement. They are worried about the huge casualties. They need to rest and recover. Before Huan Lan had finished probing this round, his attendant He Shu had already reported. Huan Lan frowned immediately, shouting, "Begrudging already despite such few casualties. These useless bums, they are all useless cowards. Return this request to them and tell them we will advance no matter what. Whoever dares to escape or run away from the Alliance army will have their entire tribe and any related tribes executed. None will be spared." Saying so, he held the letter in his hand and tore it into pieces immediately. "Continue advancing! Charge!" Huan Lan waved his hand, shouting as he commanded the army. He was anxious. These days, 88 Truyang Building would emit a strange tremor every few days. Coupled with the disappearance of the owner token, Huan Lan felt that this was not a simple matter. His instincts were telling him that something unthinkable was about to happen. To avoid any accidents in the future, he had to quickly get the strength path Immortal Gu now. Only after advancing to a Gu Immortal would he have the strength to control this changing situation. The challenge this time lasted until the 28th round. Only after everyone was unable to continue and the casualties were too heavy did Huan Lan have no choice but to retreat and recuperate. In his room, Taibai Yun Sheng showed a bitter smile as he held several East Window Gu in his hand. These East Window Gu contained the cultivation experience of previous generation Gu masters. Among them, most were time path attainment. These were all the round rewards obtained from 88 Truyang Building. Don't tell me this is the arrangement of destiny for me to advance to Gu Immortal Realm? Back then, Taibai Yun Sheng had failed in searching for a lifespan Gu. After wasting all his life savings, he had to become He Tribe's external elder. He was a time path Gu master, rank 5 peak stage. With his sensitivity towards time, he knew that he had little time left since a few years ago. Although advancing to Gu Immortal Realm could allow a Gu master's life to improve qualitatively, it could not increase his lifespan. But Taibai Yun Sheng's situation was a little special. His time path inheritance was extraordinary. It was a Gu Immortal inheritance. The core of his inheritance had 3 Gu: river as before Gu, mountain as before Gu, and man as before Gu. The inheritance has theorized long ago. When he becomes an immortal, using the supreme opportunity of the resonance of heaven and earth, he could advance his man as before Gu into an immortal Gu. The mortal man, as before Gu, could only be used on others. Immortal Gu man, as before, could be used on himself. If I have the man as before immortal goo, I can use it on myself and extend my lifespan. Unfortunately, man as before is not like the spring-autumn cicada. I cannot save Gao Yang and Zhu Zai. Sigh. Thinking of this, Taibai Yun Sheng's heart was worried. The intense regret and guilt assaulted him once again. Fang Yuan stood at the peak of the tall tower, looking at He tribe. Luck inspection. Gu had been activated for a while. It gave him a different field of vision from others. This rank 5 mortal Gu was the sole, unexpected gain that he obtained inside the true inheritance secluded domain. Luck inspection, as the name suggests, could be used to inspect luck. It was an investigative Gu worm. In his vision in the living quarters of He tribe, there were countless smoke-like luck strands, but among them, 2 were extremely thick, like cranes among chickens. Even the palace's rooms could not hide them. One came from Huan Lan. His luck was like a huge pillar, with an azure color. It was thick and long. The other came from Taibai Yun Sheng. His luck was like the flames burning during sunset, red and bright. It accumulated above the roof of his house. It was like the feeling of dazzling flames. The luck of these 2 are extremely high, but they are different. Huan Lan's luck has a lasting feeling. Taibai Yun Sheng's luck is like a pile of old firewood, burning at the last moment. In recent days, I secretly manipulated the rewards and placed many time path attainment experiences as rewards to give them to Taibai Yun Sheng. Every time he gets one, the fiery red luck above him turns brighter by a bit. The possibility of becoming an immortal also increased slightly. Fang Yuan thought about it for a long time. He sighed in his heart when he thought about the mysterious and unfathomable luck path. But he had only obtained a single luck inspection Gu. He did not know the details of the inheritance. It was like opening a new window. Towards this new path, he could only explore it slowly. He used the luck inspection Gu on himself. Fang Yuan's body was shrouded in black, ink-like luck. This luck gathered and formed a huge coffin shape, completely covering his body. They were emitting a dense death energy, the energy of great misfortune. Even though Fang Yuan had looked at this many times, his heart always sank when he observed this. My luck is not looking optimistic, but these days all my talks with the imperial court land spirit have had no progress. This land spirit is too arrogant. It only wants to break the seal and regain its freedom. True Yang building has already shaken 38 times. Eventually, giant sun's will would awaken. Eh? Fang Yuan gasped. He looked at a group of Gu masters. They were all shrouded in a black coffin-like luck, heading in the direction of He tribe. A moment later, they all entered Taibai Yun Sheng's residence. Fang Yuan thought about briefly before understanding their intentions. This is a good opportunity for me to understand the meaning of this black coffin luck. Fang Yuan's gaze was dark. He gave a deep glance towards Taibai Yun Sheng's location.